Inhabitants of Moyoka subdivision in the Fako division, southwest region of Cameroon, are still in shock after the killing of 3 women in a crossfire, that is in the course of a battle between the defense and security forces of Cameroon and separatist fighter. We'll take you to that part of the southwest in this edition of the news. And equally angry patients of the Yaoundé General Hospital today blocked the main entryway into the General Hospital. They are angry that for many days they have not been able to get themselves treated, and of course the absence of dialysis, hemodialysis kits is causing problem not only in Yaoundé, equally in the city of Douala and the rest of Cameroon. The reasons will be explained to you in this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on the primetime newscast on Equinox Television, live from Equinox Central News Desk in Douala, Cameroon. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we thank you very much for joining us on this edition of the primetime newscast on Equinox Television, live from Equinox Central News Desk, that's in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital. We'll take you straight away to the southwest region of Cameroon, precisely to EQUINOXE in Moyoka subdivision of that region, where inhabitants are still in shock after the killing of 3 women in a crossfire between armed separatists separatist fighters of the conflicts in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon and the defense forces of the Republic of Cameroon. Amongst the dozen injured are women and equally children who are critically injured in the gun battle that took place yesterday. Innocent Aze takes us to the event.
Jah Blessing is one of the victims of the crossfire between separatist fighters under the military in EQUINOXE in Moyoka subdivision of the southwestern region early Thursday, December 19th. She is currently battling for her life in a hospital in Douala. Sources say she was first rushed to the Limbe Regional Hospital after the serious fire exchange that reportedly claimed the lives of 3 women and injuring about 15 workers on board this personnel transport vehicle of Source du Pays, a water production and distribution company. Unconfirmed report says the company vehicle fell prey as at the least 3 soldiers who were escorting the workers to work were violently attacked by armed Amber Boys who allegedly used improvised explosive devices. No death or casualty was recorded on the side of the warring parties. The armed conflict, which is deteriorating daily despite government's efforts to have it resolved, has seen the innocent population in pools of blood, tears, and in agony around and away from home than the belligerents.
Among the state-owned hospitals in Cameroon, precisely in the city of Douala, the Lakintini Hospital has been topping the list of highly criticized hospitals due to its poor services rendered to the people of the economic capital of Cameroon, Douala. Though some of these hopeless or people who visit this hospital have been describing in bitter terms the services rendered, the government is trying hard to better the image of the Lakintini Hospital and other state-owned health establishments in the city of Douala. Hemini Luga tells us more in the following report.
Reconciling the Lakintini Hospital and the general public has been a big challenge over years for the Public Health Ministry in Cameroon. From the mishaps in the payment system to the fighting of absenteeism of doctors and the diversion of patients, thus the burning desire to combat laxity, passivity, lack of dialogue and others affecting patients. Present at the hospital on a recognition ceremony, Minister Manauda Malachi outlined the need for hard work.
I want to tell all the personnel of Minsante that they have to work hard and to distinguish themselves in the work they are doing every day. So here we come to celebrate those of personnel who has distinguished all of the 2019 year.
Though few amends have been made of late to compensate the gaps identified by the general public, like the putting in place of a blood bank, the sparing up of the medical staff to make fluid and beneficial health services to patients, Minister of Public Health Manauda Malachi reiterates the need for perfect work.
We are working for our compatriots, so we have to take care of them, we have to welcome them, we have to treat them as ourselves, just to say that, because I have already tell about humanization of the service in our hospital.
Some virtuous characteristics which have then been recalled to the Lakentene medical staff, with some exemplary workers congratulated.
And hemodialysis patients of the Yaoundé General Hospital today went wild, protesting in front of the hospital in the nation's political capital that the strike action started in the early hours of today. They say they are tired of paying money for dialysis kits, which are supposed to be given for free according to them. Worst of all, according to these protesting patients, is the unavailability of the dialysis kits for several weeks now. It should be noted that the protest in Yaoundé is coming less than 24 hours after hemodialysis patients in the Douala General Hospital staged a similar protest, as recounted in this report by EQUINOXE.
À l'hôpital général de Douala, nous sommes à peu près plus de 250 malades qui dialysent.
About 250 hemodialysis patients at the Douala General Hospital say they have not had effective dialysis sessions for 2 months now and risk dying.
On pouvait supporter, là on n'a pas de deadline.
That the limited dialysis kits, which were being managed within the 2 months time frame, have a breakdown and no reasonable fixed date has been given them for repairs.
Parce que je ne sais pas quand exactement je vais dialyser.
She asks if they were given a deadline to have dialysis sessions next week, it would have been comprehensible.
Si on nous avait donné une deadline que je vais dialyser mardi ou lundi de la semaine prochaine, je pourrais encore supporter.
With this helpless condition, some of the patients, as way to remedy the situation, have afforded dialysis kits to have a dialysis session at the cost of 25,000 francs CFA. Those who cannot afford these means are calling on the Minister of Public Health to intervene and save their lives.
Nos vies sont en danger. Qu'ils prennent vraiment les responsabilités des hémodialysés en main, ainsi que Monsieur le Président de la République. Aidez-nous. Ne nous laissez pas mourir.
They fear not enjoying the end-of-year festivities like other citizens because of faith promise made by the Public Health Minister to redress this hemodialysis problem.
Parce que nous ne pouvons pas dialyser, ce n'est pas normal. Nous aussi, nous sommes des êtres humains et des Camerounais à part entière, dont nous avons droit à la santé.
The disgruntled dialysis patients, while desperately awaiting positive developments in the Douala General Hospital through the Minister of Public Health, thank the hospital personnel for their individual efforts to enable them undergo dialysis before the complete breakdown.
L'hôpital général de Douala fait beaucoup d'efforts pour nous. Le problème est au niveau national. Ils nous ont dit que c'était un problème de système.
That the problem is from Yaoundé.
Décrions ce système. Nous voulons rester en vie. Nous voulons être comme tout le monde.
It is not the first time these dialysis patients have been protesting at the hospital premises. Lack of dialysis machines or materials remains a big problem yet to be resolved in public hospitals by government despite demonstrations from hemodialysis patients.
And the Southwest Regional Delegation of Public Health has handed accreditations to some selected health establishments within the Southwest region of Cameroon. They were selected from around Fako Division for their quality services in their various centers. The Southwest Regional Delegate of Public Health, Ebongo Zakios Nanji, congratulated the various district medical officers for braving the threats and gunshot to deliver health services. They, in the following excerpt, equally saluted the collaboration of the state official, that is the Southwest Regional Delegate of Public Health, and equally the determination of the delegates of public health to encourage the selected health centers and equally give what was qualified as performance-based financing to some of the health structures within the Southwest region. And of course, we are proposing to you an excerpt of the Southwest Regional Delegate of Public Health.
I would say I'm very impressed with the level of healthcare delivery in the Southwest region in spite of the crisis. You see many of these facilities have been accredited today, and they are going home satisfied. I will just give them one advice, that they don't sit on their laurels, they continue to improve, and such that the community would be able to be the greatest beneficiary of their services, which the Ministry of Public Health is out to offer.
Our patient is our priority, and what we do is that we work hand in hand with our community health workers. They do a lot of sensitization. Without their effort, we would have had the number of patients that we are having. Because we came, they didn't even know that CDC is attending to non-CDC workers, but it's due to their sensitization and our home visit activity that has made it possible for the number of consultations and other services to improve in our health facility.
And it should be noted that the Southwest Regional Delegate, Dr. Ebongo Nanji, today led a delegation of health experts within the region to a press conference in the Bakassi Peninsula on the cholera outbreak that was reported in that part of the Indian Division some days ago. The news conference in Bakassi was attended by our reporter, Derek Jatu in Boya, and of course we shall be bringing you images from Bakassi Peninsula and the half-hour of the cholera outbreak in subsequent editions of news on EQUINOXE television. Meantime, we stay in the Southwest region to talk about the Southwest Development Association, SUEDA, that has so far published its program for 2020. The event took place at the explanade of the Muliko Municipal Stadium in the Southwest region of Cameroon. Derek Jato reports.
The second ordinary session of the Southwest Development Authority SUEDA Board of Directors for the 2019 financial year has revealed the 2020 budget.
The budget for this year, like I told you, is $1.4 billion.
The board chair, Ediage Abande Herbert, also made public that the budget will be used to stabilize especially some rural infrastructure fractured by the Anglophone crisis. The Southwest Development Authority is also ready to fully participate in the government reconstruction plan.
So SUEDA, the talk say, it could join with central government, we are only, because you want to get some big reconstruction plan we want to do for assist all people that don't lost their thing them, for say make them come back for village, start their small farm work, start their small carpentry or a tailor or whatever thing they be doing. So you get a big reconstruction plan where it will come up for your own day. So SUEDA to go join for do other one.
Though the Southwest Development Authority has also been hit by the 3-year-old Anglophone crisis, Dr. Besson Tui Ogok, SUEDA Director General, is optimistic.
We see light at the end of the tunnel. We see hope because we are seeing that things are gradually being normalized, especially with the holding of the Grand National Dialogue on the recommendations that came out of that dialogue. So SUEDA as an establishment, we are positioning ourselves already to be involved actively in the recovery and reconstruction of our region.
And also what that is striving for is for the betterment of the Southwest region, especially its rural population. The team is set for action, this board of directors noted, but pray that the coming of this dry season for road construction for instance, should also be accompanied by some security stability for project in that direction to effectively commence.
Derek Jatode reporting from the Southwest, and now from the Southwest region we'll come back to the economic capital Douala, where some Cameroonians in the diaspora were today explained and presented the opportunities offered by Cameroon as far as investment is concerned. This was within the fourth edition of the Returnees project that took place in the economic capital Douala today. The project brought together Cameroonians in the diaspora, those who retained and invested in Cameroon, who shared their experiences and their success stories, and equally Cameroonians back at home who have been encouraged to get in contact with those in the diaspora who can help finance their projects and equally give them technical assistance as far as investment in Cameroon is concerned. It is believed that many Cameroonians in the diaspora wish to come back to Cameroon and invest, but lack the necessary knowledge on the opportunities offered Cameroon as far as doing business is concerned. We propose to you an excerpt of Mrs. Miranda Oben, who equally championed the project, the Returnees project.
We say the diaspora is investing and working together. You had the example of Dr. Ghislain Moïsil, who came in from Germany with Safi money and is working hand in hand with Mavians, which is based here in Douala. So the examples I give are examples of the stories and the impact we have here. When they sign the partnership, the implementation of the projects are easier. You don't get to making the mistakes others have made before you. I can give examples: Dr. Thierry Nyamen, Christian Gang, Roland Formundam, Pam Happy. All these are diasporans from France, Canada, the UK. You remember Germany? We're working in 11 diaspora countries, online, newsletters. We have a database of the diaspora. So you should be reaching out to us, the media, the government, and all the officials, to say, if you have the database of the people we want to reach to come back to the country and invest, find us the young entrepreneurs in whom we can invest. And the young entrepreneurs are here today to present their projects. You see the impact. We don't talk about the impact. We've moved from PhDs to PhDs. We actually do what we say we're going to do. So the impact is all the examples of these projects which are being realized and being supported by the diaspora. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the first part of news. Up next is the second point, the second part, which is talking point. On Talking Point today, we are receiving a young but very popular politician in Cameroon, the firebrand Fabrice Lena of the Popular Action Party. He is the National Communication Secretary of the Popular Action Party in Cameroon. Fabrice Lena, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure once more to be with you. Thank you very much for inviting me again.
And of course, Fabrice, it's always good to have you on set. You are an example of youth in Cameroon who are daring into a field where many people consider as meant for the old, and that is politics. And equally with you, we'll be discussing many issues in Cameroon, but the first question is the special status accorded to the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Your party says they are not going for the upcoming 2020 election, and one of the key reasons is that the Anglophone crisis must and should be resolved. And now there is a special status accorded by the governments of Cameroon as a solution to the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions. If elections were to be recalled today, would the PAP party go in?
Not at all, because when we talk of special status, it was something that, according to me, granted in 1972, not in 2019. This is because the government of Cameroon is guilty of disintegrating the country by, first of all, going away from the Accord of Fumban that gave birth to the 1961 Constitution. And we discovered that a lot of things, a lot of wrongs have been done to the people of the northwest and southwest region. I prefer to call it the southern Cameroons, because that is the identity that they came with it in this union. You know, the government thinks that it is maybe, I don't know, to give special status. What is special status to a people that come to a union as equal people? So we don't think that the special status is a loud sounding nonsense.
The question, we are getting there to the content. But now, if whatever is given to these regions now, we are talking about the content of that special status. Explain if it is able to resolve the crisis, or if
it cannot resolve the crisis. We are not talking, because when we talk of if it is able, the special status was recommended after the national dialogue.
The government says we had the minister of decentralization. I'm talking about Minister Olanga.
All these things are cosmetic.
Obams, who says this content will solve the problems in northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. No doubt.
They are cosmetic solutions. When I say cosmetic solutions, is that nobody in the northwest and southwest who understands the history of the southern Cameroonian people will accept special status. If there is anything we can accept at this level, is a federal government, and we talk of two-state federation, not special status. They are giving special status to who? We are two equal partners who are supposed to sit on a round table and decide together. Even if the special status is supposed to be given, it is supposed to be the decision of the people concerned, not one party, which is the government and its authorities, designing some thing called special status and giving it to another party, which is the people of Southern Cameroon. It doesn't work like that. We have been saying, and the Popular Action Party continue to maintain and reiterate, that for us to solve the problem, we have to ask people who came in a gentleman agreement in 1961, go back again to that agreement and sit down and look at the things that went wrong. Because things went wrong when the first president, Aijo, proclaimed a unity republic without consulting the people of the other side, and it became a problem. The man ruled a country with ordinances for 1 year as a dictator. That was so wrong. He dissolved an accord that was not supposed to be dissolved, and we came there as two equal partners. And in 1984 again, Mr. Ambia came again with a presidential decree causing, that was pure secession. I can say that he is even the one who gave the leeway for the Anglophones to think that they have been seceded, because the identity of the people of Southern Cameroon was now lost. So again in 1994, after AAC2, the Bamenda Declaration, what did the Bamenda Declaration say? He said that if the government does not bring back the federal status, the federal republic that made us to come together, then there will be a moment where the people of Southern Cameroon will declare their independence. And that's what we experienced in 2016. It's because the government and its authorities are people who are not ready to solve any problem. Whatever thing they are designing in the name of special status will not work. That is why you're just from reading the news, people dying in Northwest and Southwest on a daily basis. If that's a solution, people will not be dying. If that's the solution, the crisis will cease. But what explains the fact that they are bringing measure solution, talking about decentralization, but crisis is escalating, is because they are not giving the solution that the people want. If at all the present government in place gives any solution, people will even doubt its implementation, because they have never guaranteed to the Cameroonian people the good faith of implementing even a good decision that they take. Which means that the first thing is for the present regime and its president to move out. Then we can sit again now and read and revisit the Constitution of 1961. Which came from the former accord, and then look at the articles or those things that had made us to be disintegrated today, to be disgruntled against one another, and then from there we can see whether we will live together or not. That is how people live. It is not by force. It is not as if one party is superior, or they feel that they are the one to, like, the manner in which you give something to somebody without consulting the person.
Fabrice, you are outlining some key things there. what should be done as far as the union between the British Southern Cameroon and West Cameroon, that is the former British Southern Cameroon. Now we have the Northwest and Southwest regions of Cameroon, and East Cameroon, which is the French-speaking part of Cameroon. And you're equally talking about a transition that is the current regime should leave. What are the priorities? Can you state chronologically and in order of importance the position of your party on the situation in the Northwest and Southwest region of Cameroon?
For the relation between the people of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon, there are so many parties involved here. We have the Republic of Cameroon, we have the people of Southern Cameroon, we have the United Nations, we have Britain, which was the colonial master of the people of Southern Cameroon, and perhaps other actors. There was a plebiscite pact signed on December 16, 1960, where United Nations gave some points under which the people of Southern Cameroon will make their campaign to join the Republic of Cameroon. And this same plebiscite pact outlined the points if they would vote to join the Republic of Nigeria. And the points in that plebiscite pact that favored the joining of people of the Republic of Cameroon mentioned that these are two states that shall come together and will only function, they will only have common foreign policy, immigration, telecommunication, and certain things at the level of the federation. But if in the course of the union, someone who claims to be the president does not obey the institution that he incarnates, unilaterally changes the accord of that union, it means that you have disintegrated the union. They need to revisit it. If they don't revisit it, we can no more operate as people again. But now, we think that all these people need to be involved. The Republic of Cameroon, people of Southern Cameroon, United Nations, we sit on the round table discussion. At that table, we go back in that complicated part of history, which is the plebiscite, the Fumban conference, and then the change of things from that period to now. And then we look at all the things that did not go well. Those things that the English people are asking, if there are evidences to prove them genuine, then from there, everybody will see that no, these people have the right to ask this. Because even the government of Cameroon is guilty of disintegrating and causing secession of the people. Then from there now we will discover that the people will have what they want, and from there we can rebuild a new Cameroon. That is the relationship between the Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon. It is a round table that includes everybody. We are talking of everybody. Those people in the diaspora, those people in prison, the hardened opposition leaders, everybody. If anybody is excluded from the discussion, it will not work. And if the government of Cameroon continues with its arrogance of not submitting to accept its mistakes, it cannot work. Because one of the highest factors that has been causing the problems of Cameroon is the arrogance of authorities in the government of Cameroon. Because they have been receiving signals since 1972 that this change of Federal Republic will cause problem in future. They gave a damn. In 1984, this change of name from unitary to the Republic will cause problem in future. They gave a damn. 1990 tripartite, they gave a damn. 1996 constitution, they gave a damn, which shows that they are not willing to solve any problem.
The government in most cases has indicated that it has been on a path for a new Cameroon. Keeping aside the federal nature, keeping aside the differences, trying to reform and make a new Cameroon more unified, more strong, and as they've always termed it, one and indivisible.
Anything less than a Federal Republic of Cameroon will not work for the new social order, because the new social order has already imposed itself on the present Cameroon that we are living in. The authorities of Yaoundé do not have control over so many parts of the countryside of Northwest and Southwest region, which means that for that living together to come back, those people must be consulted, and their ideas, when you listen to the logical analysis of secession, you come to discover that it is true. You people cannot come out in a union, and then somebody get one day and bring back his own name. It's just like me and you, Mr. Sander, we go into a business, and then we come with two names in that business, Lena and the Sander, and then in the long run, you decide to abolish my own name and maintain your own name, and you expect that I should be happy, and then after you that is total nonsense.
Isn't there anything good in this special status that was adopted? I mean, as far as the bill outlining it is concerned, you've read through the bill and you've read the part that has to do with the special status to the north and south. Isn't there anything good as far as the PAP is concerned?
Cameroon is one of the countries that write very good documents, but they don't implement anything. They write very good documents, but they do not implement anything. There is a big gap between a text that is written and explained to the people and its implementation in the ground. That is what we have witnessed.
I mean, at least there's something good.
Yes, there are things good there, even though it's very ambiguous with the use of may, be, may, either. Those things are very ambiguous in its understanding in the judicial implications. But the Cameroon government that we know have bad faith. They will come there, special status, this and that. Is that applicable? What is the guarantee that it will be applied and the people will it will satisfy the aspiration of the people? That is the question.
From this point, for an immediate solution to the crisis, what is the PAP now proposing? Because you actually outlined
the government need to liberate all those in prison. The government need to sign a cease pact with the leaders of the pro-Anglophone movement, and then the government need to carry out a sincere dialogue that will include everybody. Anything other than that is cosmetic, and it will not resolve the crisis.
The others talk about the Swiss mediation, and we've learned recently that the consistent unavailability of these parties, the government and the separatists, is pushing the Swiss authorities to gradually shift away from their position and their offer to mediate.
It is the manipulation of the government in place because they don't want to be sincere. You see, when even foreign countries or other people want to intervene in favor of those people who are suffering injustice, the government cries that this and that. It's because our government is not sincere and they are not willing to open up to the people.
Fabrice Lena, thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure for me to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying with us. Have a blessed stay in the company of programs on EQUINOXE Television.